What if some books were hidden so that ordinary people could never get their hands on them? Because the knowledge they contain might allow you to see the world as it truly is, or make you question everything you know. Did you know that there are books lost in the dark corners of history, accessible only to a select few? These books hold humanity's deepest secrets, esoteric wisdom, and occult truths. But the real question is, are you truly ready to read them? Before we dive in, have you watched our previous video, The Vatican's Hidden Truths? We explored the secrets and forbidden documents hidden by the Vatican. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out. But we noticed something interesting. Most of the people watching our videos still haven't subscribed. If you find these topics intriguing, don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's get back to the topic. Today we will uncover 10 mysterious books that have been banned, hidden, and nearly forgotten. Some were censored by churches, others were deemed dangerous, and some were reserved only for initiates. For centuries, their knowledge has been guarded by a small elite. But why? What do these books contain? Who had access to this knowledge? And are some of them still being kept from us? Now, let's explore these books one by one. And I have a question for you. Which of these books have you heard of? Leave a comment and share your thoughts on these secrets with me. Our first book is Kybalion. Are you aware of the laws that shape reality? Have you ever considered that the events in your life are not coincidences, but actually follow specific cosmic principles? Thousands of years ago, these teachings were passed down only to the initiated, offering a key to understanding the nature of the mind, the universe, and existence itself. But does having this knowledge mean you can truly use it correctly? Kybalion is a book written in 1908 by the three initiates. However, the true identity behind this name remains unknown. The book explains the 7 principles of Hermetic philosophy, claiming they reveal the fundamental workings of the universe. These teachings, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, have influenced many occult and mystical traditions throughout ancient Egypt, Greece, and even the Renaissance. So, what do these principles teach? The principle of mentalism. The universe is mental. Reality is first created by the mind. Even modern quantum physics explores the relationship between consciousness and matter. The principle of correspondence. As above, so below. The microcosm and macrocosm are reflections of each other. Ancient alchemists used this principle to transform matter. The principle of vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves, everything vibrates. Even Einstein's theories on energy and matter confirm this idea. The principle of polarity. Everything exists with its opposite. Hot and cold, light and dark. These are merely different ends of the same spectrum. The principle of rhythm. Everything flows in cycles. Nature, history, and even human psychology follow this principle. The principle of cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. Everything you experience today has a cause behind it. The principle of gender. Everything has both masculine and feminine aspects. This law applies on both the physical and spiritual levels. Does it really work? Kybalion is an intriguing text, both mystical and scientific. Some consider it merely an occult guide, while others believe it offers ancient wisdom on the workings of the universe. But what about you? Do you believe these principles can explain the events in your life? If you possess the secrets of the universe, what would you do? Would you share this knowledge, or would you pass it on only to a select few? Thousands of years ago, a sage recorded teachings powerful enough to guide all of humanity. But these teachings were so profound that, over time, they were hidden, forgotten, and preserved only by a small group of initiates. So, what was written in these ancient texts? Corpus Hermeticum is a collection of texts attributed to the legendary figure known as Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes Trismegistus is associated with both the Egyptian god Thoth and the Greek god Hermes. According to these writings, humans are spiritual beings, merely temporary travelers in this world. The ultimate goal is to transcend the material realm and attain divine knowledge. One of the most crucial themes in Corpus Hermeticum is the nature of the cosmos and the evolution of the soul. According to these teachings, the universe originated from a divine mind. All existence emerges from a cosmic consciousness called Nous. Sounds a lot like the Big Bang Theory, doesn't it? Humans carry a divine spark. Our soul is trapped in this material world, but through gnosis, we can return to the divine realm. Reincarnation and the purification of the soul. The soul is tested through multiple lifetimes, eventually attaining divine wisdom. These texts were banned by the Church throughout the Middle Ages, only to be rediscovered during the Renaissance. In Florence, Cosimo de' Medici commissioned the Latin translation of Corpus Hermeticum, deeply influencing mystical and scientific thought across Europe. Even Isaac Newton had a deep interest in Hermetic writings and studied alchemy. One of the fathers of modern science was searching for secrets within this ancient wisdom. So, are these teachings still relevant today? Is our soul truly trapped in this material world? And if so, what is the path to liberation? Have you ever wondered if the stories we are told about the origins of the universe are incomplete? What if everything we think we know is just a fragment, while the real knowledge lies hidden, buried deep beyond our reach? Helena Blavatsky embarked on a quest to uncover the ancient secrets forgotten by humanity. Traveling across the world, she sought the wisdom of lost civilizations and hidden brotherhoods. In the end, she compiled all occult knowledge into a single groundbreaking book, The Secret Doctrine. A journey through lost wisdom, Blavatsky claimed to have contacted secret brotherhoods in India, Tibet, and Egypt, learning from them the ancient mysteries of existence. According to her, this knowledge originated from the wisdom traditions of Atlantis and Lemuria, two legendary lost continents. But the Secret Doctrine was more than just an occult book. It was a revolutionary work bridging Eastern and Western philosophy. Key themes in the Secret Doctrine: cosmic evolution. The universe is described as a process involving both physical and spiritual dimensions. The 7 root races, according to Blavatsky, humanity has been shaped by 7 root races, and we are currently in the 4th stage. Esoteric cosmology, deep connections are drawn between Hindu Vedas, Buddhist teachings, and Western esotericism. Lost knowledge and hidden brotherhoods, true wisdom, has been preserved by mystical schools and enlightened masters. Where did Blavatsky's knowledge come from? Blavatsky claimed that she was taught by Mahatmas, enlightened beings from Tibet, who had reached higher states of consciousness. But was this truly an authentic transmission of ancient knowledge? Or was it merely a myth? Although her ideas were dismissed by the academic world of her time, modern science, particularly quantum physics, consciousness studies, and esoteric philosophy, has revealed striking similarities to some of the Secret Doctrine's core concepts. So, is humanity really searching for fragments of lost wisdom? And if this knowledge were made accessible to all, what kind of world would we live in? Can you trust your 5 senses to understand the true nature of the universe? What if reality extends beyond what we see and touch, shaped in an unknown dimension? This is precisely the question that Zohar seeks to answer. This ancient text holds the secrets of the creation of the universe, the journey of the soul, and the deepest mysteries of existence. But Zohar is not a book that just anyone can read. For centuries, it was studied only by chosen Kabbalists, its secrets carefully guarded. But why was this book kept so hidden? Could its knowledge be so powerful that it could change the world? A hidden wisdom, Zohar is considered the most important text of Kabbalah. Although traditionally attributed to Moses de Leon in the 13th century, it is said to stem from a much older tradition. This text forms the foundation of Jewish mysticism, aiming to unveil the hidden meanings of the Torah. Key themes in the Zohar: the creation of the universe long before the Big Bang. Kabbalah spoke of a cosmic creation theory. The union of light and darkness, the tree of Sephiroth, the universe, and the human soul are said to be composed of 10 energy centers, each representing a different dimension of existence. The connection between humans and the divine. According to Zohar, the human soul is part of an infinite consciousness, and life is a journey to discover this divine awareness. Mystical rituals and hidden knowledge. The text contains encrypted messages and secret codes, understood only by those initiated into esoteric traditions. The forbidden secrets of the Zohar. For centuries, Zohar was kept hidden by Jewish theologians and mystics, as they feared that its knowledge, if misused, could unleash immense power. According to Kabbalists, one must be spiritually prepared to read and understand its teachings. Today, some physicists suggest that the creation theories in Zohar bear striking similarities to quantum physics and multiverse theories. Could the ancient mystics have known secrets that modern science is only now discovering? So, is Zohar merely a spiritual book, or is it a code that transcends human consciousness? And if this knowledge had been freely shared, how different would our world be today? Is death the end, or the beginning of the real journey? If you knew that the soul transitions to another world after death, how would you prepare for the journey? For the ancient Egyptians, death was not annihilation but a passage to a higher existence. However, this transition was not easy. The soul had to face dangers, trials, and gods in the afterlife. This is precisely why the Book of the Dead was written, a guide to help souls safely complete their journey beyond death. What is the Book of the Dead? The Book of the Dead is one of the most mysterious texts of ancient Egypt. It consists of magical prayers, spells, and instructions that guide the soul in the afterlife. But here's an interesting detail. This book is not actually a book. Yes, you heard that right. The Book of the Dead is a collection of spells and hymns written on papyrus scrolls. These texts were also inscribed on the walls of pyramids and coffins, ensuring that the deceased soul could find the correct path. The Judgment of Osiris, one of the most famous sections of the Book of the Dead, is the Judgment of Osiris. According to the ancient Egyptians, after death, every soul was brought before Osiris to be judged. This was the crucial moment. The soul's heart was weighed against the feather of truth, the symbol of the goddess Maat. If the heart was light, the soul could enter paradise, known as Aru. If the heart was heavy, the soul was devoured by a terrifying creature called Amit. Key spells from the Book of the Dead. The spell of opening the gates allows the soul to pass through the gates of the underworld. The spell of companionship enables the soul to receive protection from guardian gods. The spell of immortality helps the deceased to live forever among the gods, a guide beyond religion. Today, some researchers believe that the Book of the Dead is more than just a religious text. It may also contain advanced knowledge about consciousness and the soul that the ancient Egyptians understood. So, does this text truly reveal an afterlife? Or did the ancient Egyptians discover a mystery about consciousness that we still cannot solve? What do you think? Is death truly the end? Or is it a new beginning for the soul? But what if some books weren't written to be read, but to be sealed? What if a book was said to drive its reader to madness, to unleash forbidden entities? Would you still dare to read it? Well, such a book exists, and its name is Necronomicon. But here's the problem: does this book truly exist, or is it merely a myth? The Necronomicon is a forbidden and dangerous book mentioned in the works of H.P. Lovecraft. According to legend, it was written by the Mad-Ara, Abdul al-Hazard, containing the names of demonic entities and ancient spells. This book is said to hold the key to raising the dead, opening portals to other dimensions, and communicating with cosmic gods. But here's the strange part. Despite Lovecraft claiming that the Necronomicon was entirely his invention, some people believe that this book actually exists. The contents of the Necronomicon and Lovecraft's nightmares. The Necronomicon is said to contain rituals to summon cosmic horror gods like Cthulhu, Nyarlathotep, and Azathoth. It is believed that reading it could possess the soul, drive one to madness, and even cause horrifying events in the physical world. And perhaps the most terrifying part, some researchers claim that Lovecraft didn't just invent this book. He was inspired by real occult texts, truth or legend. So, does the Necronomicon truly exist? Some say that in the 15th century, the Vatican banned this book and hid it in their secret libraries. Others believe that it's merely a literary creation by Lovecraft, written to deepen his mythology. However, paranormal investigators claim that manuscripts similar to the Necronomicon have actually been found in the past, containing dangerous rituals. What do you think? Is the Necronomicon simply fiction, or did Lovecraft unveil a forbidden and forgotten secret? Have you ever thought that you could perform magic with the power of the stars, planets, and even the moon? Centuries ago, a book called Picatrix promised just that. But the question that needs to be asked is there really such a powerful connection in the universe? Or is it just an ancient belief? The mystery and content of Picatrix. Picatrix is considered the foundational source of medieval astrological magic practices. This book was a guide that contained both astrological and occult rituals. In fact, it wasn't just a book on magic. It was seen as a work designed to help us understand our relationship with the universe and our role as conscious beings. The book is said to contain the power to change people's fates through magic performed based on the positions of the stars, planets, and the moon. Picatrix became a widespread source among astrologers, alchemists, and occult researchers. How can the stars, planets, and celestial powers influence people's destinies? Picatrix provides answers to this question through astrological calculations and symbolic rituals. The real strength of the book lay in understanding how the universe merges with consciousness. According to Picatrix, everything has its own energy, and each planet has its own power. These powers could be used to change a person's life. The book laid the foundations of what is now known as astrological magic. For example, a spell performed under the influence of the planet Saturn was suggested to prevent material losses or bring long-term success. Similarly, spells under the influence of Venus focused on love, relationships, and beauty. Historical impact of Picatrix and its modern reflections in the Middle Ages. This book became a key reference for many scholars and those researching occult teachings. Serving as a source of mystical wisdom, it left a profound impact on Western occultism, especially during the Renaissance, and gained significant importance in disciplines like alchemy and astrology. Today, Picatrix is still considered a reference source among those interested in astrology and the occult world. However, whether the book truly holds the power to interact with consciousness in the universe remains a subject of debate. What do you think? Are the mysteries of the universe only hidden in ancient wisdom? Or is there really a chance to perform magic with the power of the heavens and planets? Imagine if you had a ritual to communicate with angels, or a way to strike deals with dark forces. Above all, the power of these mysterious texts, said to have been written during King Solomon's time, continues to stir curiosity today. But the real question is, are the keys of Solomon just an ancient myth? Or is it truly possible to harness these powers? The Keys of Solomon is considered a series of magical texts attributed to King Solomon. These texts are said to contain rituals and magic used by Solomon to communicate with angels and dark entities. Solomon, a figure blessed by God with both wisdom and power, has been an inspiration for many superstitions and occult teachings through his secret knowledge. The rituals in the book focus on gaining power with the help of angels, or communicating with demons to gain control. The Keys of Solomon was seen not only as a tool for performing magic, but also as a means of accessing the deep secrets of the universe. This book is a detailed guide on how to communicate with hidden forces and supernatural beings. It contains various symbols and words used to seek the powerful assistance of angels and control dark forces. The Keys of Solomon also provides information on making pacts with demons and secret agreements. The text details methods for controlling demons and directing them according to one's will. For example, invoking the angels known as the celestial royalty was an important ritual for those seeking supreme power. Likewise, summoning demons was a way of making deals with dark and dangerous forces. These rituals are said to be very powerful and dangerous, yet the Keys of Solomon remains a valuable source for occult researchers seeking hidden powers. Historical impact of the Keys of Solomon. This text has inspired not only those interested in the occult, but also various interpretations of religious teachings such as Christianity, Jewish mysticism, and Islam. In the Middle Ages and Renaissance, the idea of interacting with higher powers was quite common. The influence of the book was felt by many mystics and religious researchers seeking to understand metaphorical and spiritual teachings. However, the Keys of Solomon has also been the source of centuries of debate due to its dangerous and questionable effects in communicating with hidden powers and supernatural beings. Some factions have banned it or considered it a perilous occult work. What about you? If you had the chance to access hidden powers, would you communicate with angels, or would you make a pact with dark forces? The fallen angels from heaven are described as beings who defied God's commands and interfered with the world. But who were these angels, and what does their descent to earth really mean? The Book of Enoch is perhaps one of the greatest forbidden texts in human history. So how did the teachings in this book truly impact the world? And more importantly, how does it shed light on the spiritual bridge between God and humanity? The Book of Enoch is one of the most significant sources of Gnostic teachings and explores the mysteries behind some of the teachings mentioned in the Bible. Enoch, chosen by God, was taken up to heaven and gained sacred knowledge, sharing it with the angels. The book tells the story of the descent of angels sent by God and their interactions with humans. According to Enoch's writings, the Watchers, the angels known as the Watchers, defy God's commands and create great chaos on earth. These angels form relationships with humans and teach them forbidden knowledge. They impart forbidden knowledge such as astronomy, astrology, magic, and the crafting of weapons. Thus, the information in this book is not only ancient secrets but also sinful and forbidden teachings for humanity. The book contains deep teachings on the severing of the bond between God and humans, how far humanity has strayed from divine knowledge, and how hidden forces impact human life. According to Gnostic teachings, the angels who were meant to protect the knowledge from God manipulated to serve their own desires. This deprived humanity of true wisdom and led them down a dark path. The Book of Enoch is, in fact, a warning to humanity. If people try to surpass God's boundaries in their quest for hidden wisdom, it leads only to spiritual corruption. This teaching also symbolizes a metaphorical awakening. The pursuit of wisdom can lead a person to higher spiritual knowledge, but accepting false teachings and embracing the wrong knowledge is also a great danger. Enoch's book holds a significant place in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. However, the Book of Enoch was not included in the official canon of the Bible because some of its teachings were eventually banned and forgotten. Many Christians considered this book heretical, and because it contained secret knowledge, it was kept hidden from the public. Enoch's story is, in fact, a journey of spiritual discovery and awakening. The quest for a deeper connection with God symbolizes humanity's search for higher wisdom. The book is said to have inspired those seeking to understand the balance between the earthly and the celestial, and how to engage with hidden forces. What about you? If there were a way to access hidden knowledge, how far would you go to establish a deeper connection with God? Or would contacting such forbidden teachings be a truly dangerous journey? Making a dark pact, shaking hands with the devil. How terrifying does that sound, right? But what if a book taught you how to make this pact with the devil? The Grand Grimoire is one of the most dangerous books ever written on black magic and making pacts with the devil. Does such a book truly exist, or is it just a legend? And perhaps the more important question, why has this book been banned by the church for centuries? The Grand Grimoire is a book written on black magic and satanic rituals, explaining how to make pacts with the devil. This text contains hidden knowledge about medieval witchcraft practices and ancient pacts made with the devil. The book explains how to summon the devil, communicate with him, and how to harness his hidden powers. The teachings in this book shed light on the darker side of a person's spiritual journey. However, the most terrifying aspect of the Grand Grimoire is that making pacts with the devil not only grants worldly power, but may lead to the eternal loss of one's soul. While explaining methods for making pacts with the devil, the Grand Grimoire also provides details on performing magic and using dark forces. Those who study this book reveal the secret and horrifying nature of deals with the devil. The book includes topics such as how to worship the devil, how to make pacts with him, and how to exploit his power. The Grand Grimoire doesn't only focus on making pacts with the devil, but also covers techniques for performing magic and gaining control over spirits. The book elaborates on how those dedicated to the devil can begin using his dark power, treating him like a patron. A person can sign with the devil to gain access to his powers. The reasons behind the church's ban. The church, finding the content of the Grand Grimoire satanic and heretical, tried to prevent its spread. Many religious leaders argued that the book could lead people to sin and cause spiritual ruin. For making a pact with the devil isn't just about gaining power on earth. It also leads to spiritual loss. Many claimed that such pacts could bring an eternal curse, condemning individuals to hell. In an effort to prevent the popularization of the Grand Grimoire, The church banned it and tried to keep it from the public with secrecy-related prohibitions. This created not only an understanding of the dangers of the book, but also a broad societal engineering project regarding the use of satanic powers. The Grand Grimoire has become a popular cultural issue when it comes to making pacts with the devil. From ancient times to the present, the book stands like a dark legend woven around satanic rituals and black magic. It has also inspired many novels and stories about Gothic literature and black magic. Throughout history, witches and sorcerers have used the Grand Grimoire to perform secret rituals and attempt to make contact with the devil. Some sources suggest that those who have made pacts with the devil remain under his influence for life, trapped on a path with no escape. What about you? What does the satanic knowledge in this banned book tell you? What kind of impact could making a pact with the devil for the sake of power have on the human soul? How risky could it be to venture down such a dark path? There are many other mysterious books, such as Codex Gigas, the Devil's Bible, Kybalion, the Lost Islamic Esoteric Text, the Voynich Manuscript, the Unsolvable Book, Sefer Harazim, the Ancient Jewish Book of Magic, and the Book of Thoth, Egypt's Lost Esoteric Wisdom. These books, just like the ones we've explored so far, are filled with secrets that have come from the depths of history. However, we couldn't cover them in this chapter. If you're more interested in these kinds of mysterious texts and the traces of ancient knowledge, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because many more mysterious books and occult secrets are waiting for you. Are these books just texts, or do they hide real, secret information within them? To some, these books only contain historical records and ancient teachings. But from another perspective, these texts carry secrets powerful enough to change the world. Could the knowledge in these books truly be the kind of information that delves into the depths of the known universe and human history? Or are they merely mysterious legends? Which book do you find most impressive? Write your thoughts below and share the book you find most intriguing with us. Which book had the most impact on you, and why? If topics like these fascinate you, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. This way, you'll be the first to know about our latest and most mysterious content. Also, in the comments, feel free to let us know which books or topics you'd like us to cover. As we create content based on your interests, this journey doesn't end here. We will continue to explore mysterious realms and uncover ancient knowledge. Follow us, because this is just the beginning.